Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is episode 1 of the new stream and I have got my co-host with me here, Pokedean. Some of you might recognize him. Make sure you check out Pokedean on Instagram, YouTube, follow him as well. He's going to be here every single week with me whilst we're doing this new series. So basically what this is about is we're going to be doing some different content that I haven't really done on the channel before. We are going to be doing a bit of market analysis, having a look what's going on with auction sales, and we're going to be watching the PWCC live weekly auction as it's happening. So as some of you might know, it's quite late here in the UK. Yeah. It's actually 2 a.m. but I wanted to do this whilst it was live so it's relevant, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to watch the auction as it goes into the extended bidding period, and we'll talk a little bit about what extended bidding is, so you guys get a bit of an understanding as well. But I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm super excited, and also the good thing about doing this live is that if anyone in the chat has any questions,
yes,
we actually can kind of give a live response and hopefully help anyone out that has never really done anything at looking at auctions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So basically the other bonus of having the live chat is I have for this evening, and I think for every single episode going forward, I think we're both going to pick cards that we want to focus on and talk about, but we are going to look at the auction as a whole, and if there's anyone in the live chat who picks out anything specific, we can also look at that and focus on that as well. Greg with the super chat, Insomniacs Unite, time to get a Bang Energy contract. Honestly, Greg, I'm on the water, I don't drink coffee, so I'm just pushing through right now. 2 a.m, please tell me you took naps before this. We've had a fairly busy day. I had a little nap earlier, but it's fine. So yeah, like I said, we are going to be looking at the auction as a whole. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are thousands of Pokemon cards in this auction.
2,813 around
to be
as well.
exact. Yeah. So obviously we're not going to be able to look at every single card. I've picked out some cards that may be classed as, you know, the bigger hitters, the more expensive cards, and then I've picked out some other cards that personally I like and I'm interested in, and there'll be reasons why I want to focus on those. And then again, Dean, when he sees a card that he's interested in, we can focus on.
Maybe we can link the auction as well. If anyone wants to kind of look through and have a look at any particular item that's up for auction,
that's a great idea.
Maybe we can help out or anything like that, or worst case you guys can go along with us and stuff like that. Would be pretty cool,
because we're going to bring it up on the screen in a minute. But we got Spooky Green, member for 12 months. Hello, finally reached the 1 year mark. Excited for the stream tonight. Spooky, thank you so much. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the auction so you guys can see it in a minute, but also in the live chat, so let us know as we're going this evening. We're going to be streaming for about 2 hours. Let us know, are there cards that you're interested in? Are you bidding on any cards in the auction yourself, or have you bid on previous weekly auctions? What have you won, etc.? Are you looking at upcoming auctions? Because we'll actually be able to see some cards that will be running next week, and maybe towards the end of the stream tonight we'll have a little talk about what we're going to focus on next week, as like a little preview. We got Marcus, member for 14 months. Marcus, thank you so much, I appreciate you. So yeah, really looking forward to this, and I think we're going to go ahead and take a look at the screen. So a lot of you who are familiar with PWCC will know what a lot of this looks like and probably have a good understanding. But I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about everything, the auction, the extended bidding, and then we're going to start getting into it. So as you can see, I've got it filtered at the moment, so it's all Pokemon. That's what we're focusing on. Obviously with PWCC, the auction, the weekly auctions, they include lots of different cards. You know, sports cards is huge, but here we're a Pokemon channel, so we are focusing on the Pokemon this evening. So I have got it filtered from high to low at the moment, and that's because some of the cards that we're going to start with are the higher end cards, and then we are going to work our way down. But you can also see it's not just cards. There are still, they've got booster boxes as well, and there's some other cool items that as we're scrolling through, we'll explain as we go. So I want to explain to you guys about extended bidding, and I've actually got the text exactly directly from PWCC themselves, so I'm going to read it out so it's as clear as possible, so that you guys can kind of have an understanding about how the extended bidding works. So at the moment, as you can see on the screen down here, it's actually got on each item extended bidding starts in, and it's got like a little countdown clock. So it's just under an hour until the extended bidding starts. So I am going to read out a little bit of text so you guys have a clear understanding. I would just do this off, like, talk it myself, but I know that I'll mess up at some point and it won't be clear.
You
so
want it to be as accurate as possible,
so that people understand what the extended bidding is, and how it works. So basically, if you place a bid on an auction item prior to 7 p.m. PST, you are eligible to participate in extended bidding. So if you don't bid on the item before 7 p.m. and extended bidding starts, you can't then bid on the item afterwards. You have to have placed an initial bid to then be eligible for extended bidding. Extended bidding will begin at 7 p.m. PST with a 60-second countdown. All open lots will close at the same time once 60 seconds passes without any bids. Additionally, items will close on an individual basis due to inactivity. So this is obviously, depending if people are interested, there'll be X amount of people ready to jump in on extended bidding. Some items might have no extended bidding activity. So the first inactivity closing window occurs from 7 till 7:30 p.m. PST. Any asset that does not receive a bid from 7 till 7:30 p.m. will close promptly at 7:30 p.m, even though extended bidding clock of 60 seconds may still be active. Any asset still active after 7:30 p.m, and we're talking PST for the time zone here, will close if it does not receive a bid within 5 minutes. And any asset that's still active after 8 p.m. PST will close if it does not receive a bid within 1 minute. So it starts to decrease. Again, the entire auction can close at any time once the 60-second extending bidding clock expires. You'll want to avoid waiting until the last moment to bid, because the entire day can close at any time. So the three main takeaways from that are you're not eligible for extended bidding if you do not place a bid before 7 p.m. basically. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
That mouse.
I can't do it on there. I need to do it on here. I'm just going to pin a comment, guys, on the auction on the live chat a second, because Green Tea has popped the link there so that people can jump in and as we're going.
You want to go along with us?
Because obviously I'm going to have it on the screen here, but it might be nice for you guys to, as we're scrolling, because basically if we're looking at a card you might not be interested in, keep having a look through and then let us know in the chat if there's something you want us to focus on.
So yeah, you were saying that you can't take part in the extended bidding unless you're bidded in the time frame before it begins. Yeah,
so the three main takeaways are: initial bids must be placed before the extended bidding starts, cards end after a single extended bidding window with no activity, and then bidding windows start at 30 minutes and can decrease all the way to 1 minute if they go to 8 p.m. as we explained earlier. Sweet. So hopefully you guys understand that. I know it's a lot of information to take in.
You guys will see it as we kind of go through it and all that kind of stuff.
So talking about it is one thing, but as we're watching it, it might start to become a bit clearer if you're still a bit not sure. Okay, right, okay, that's fine. So I am just going to have a little look in the chat and just see if it, cause we've just been focused on everything that's going on. So I just want to say a shout out to everyone watching this evening. Like I said, it is quite late here in the UK, but I know we're probably in different time zones now. So people who can't watch the streams normally are jumping in on these. So Green Tea, thank you for helping out, modding tonight, top mod.
I saw Wyatt saying finally we're streaming at a time where he's awake.
Oh, amazing. Do you know, it's actually really nice because actually I think there's going to be some people in these streams that never have the chance to jump into my normal streams. Yeah. And I know you guys watch the pre-recorded videos and comment, but it's nice to be able to communicate with you on the live stream. And then Admiral, how are we doing? So I think Admiral's just made a comment there about the boxes. I think someone was asking why they have the stickers on here. Yep. So I am going to go into that in a second. We're going to start with the boxes because they're all sitting at the top here.
We've done that before, haven't we?
Yes, we have, yeah. Will I be going after an item? So I placed a bid on one item a few days ago before this all sort of got confirmed that I was going to be doing this stream, but it's not something I'm going to carry on bidding on because it's gone above what I want to spend on it basically. But you'll actually see it as we go through. There'll be a little orange bar on it because I'm logged into my account. You'll be able to see where I bid. Look at all that G.I. Joe, Greg. Oh no, see, this is what they do to avoid the G.I. Joe. I'm going to write out instructions for a secret handshake when we have, oh my goodness, Admiral, I'm on that. I mean, you might have to send a video on how to do it. I don't know how good I'll be. Is there a UK-based Pokemon TCG auction house like PWCC? Not that I'm aware of.
No.
So PWCC, as we said at the beginning, tonight, as you can see here, 2,813 Pokemon items in the auction. So that is an awful lot of items. So just give you an idea how big and how much they have going. And this is the weekly auction.
Yeah.
So every Sunday we're always going to be focusing on the weekly auction. So I think we're going to make a start, and we're going to start talking about some of the items.
And they will run for 10 days.
From a Thursday to a Sunday, yeah. Okay. So this is what the page looks like, so you guys can see. I've put the face cam sort of out the way so it's not going to block anything major. And extended bidding starts Sunday 7 p.m, like we just spoke about. So at the moment we're filtered high to low. Oh, we got PWCC in the chat with us this evening. So technically it is the very early hours of the morning, but because we haven't gone to bed, we'll say good evening.
Yeah, how is it going?
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. So we've just sort of explained to everyone about, how it all works, extended bidding. And now we're actually going to go in and we're going to focus on a couple of the items that we have in front of us. So first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was the booster boxes. So as you can see here, we've got a first edition rocket box, two first ed fossil boxes, and 2 first ed jungle. Now I think someone in the chat noticed that they've got the little tamper seals on them.
Yep.
Now PWCC authenticate these boxes when they come in, so by doing that it is avoiding your G.I. Joe situation. It is avoiding any issues about them possibly not being authentic, then potentially being sent out to the customer sealed, customer opening it, finding it's not Pokemon cards or they're not real, etc. So we're going to click into the item so you guys can see, and they actually have a little video of them opening the box, showing everything, sealing it back up. And as you can see here, they actually put tamper seals on where the flap is, because if they didn't, you could actually still access and put things in and out. So as you can see here, the little video is playing while we're talking about this. They are showing the box fully sealed as it's come into them. Then they are getting it opened up. And then it's just peace of mind for them selling it. And then for people buying it, they know it is 100% authentic. 36 packs, everything like that. PWCC are saying, we often get questions about extended bidding. It helps to avoid getting sniped on items you really want to add to your personal collection. Yeah, it's a great idea, and I explain to people the timings and how it all works, and yeah, it is a great idea for helping people really focus on, if there's a couple of items, worrying that if they all end at the same time, at least they can sort of jump in at different levels. So yeah, here is the box being shown. We're just going to stick on the Team Rocket box. They'll open it up, and then once they've opened it up, authenticated it, then it will be sealed back up, as you can see, with the tamper stickers. And these little videos sit on the actual listing, so whenever you click into them, you can see it there.
I think this is really good as well, because it does give you that peace of mind.
It does.
I mean, we've bought stuff in last year, and you don't know until it's in your hand and you've actually opened it yourself. Where here, you can actually see a video of them opening it up, authenticating it, tamper sealing it up, so you know exactly what you're getting. So I think that's actually really, really impressive, and it does give you that peace of mind
massively, because it's actually interesting talking about that, us buying a lot of boxes ourselves. First edition fossil, I had someone approach me last year asking if I wanted to buy a first edition fossil box that they had, and I'm always open to buying collections, buying boxes, so agreed to it. And when we met up, I said that I wanted to authenticate the box in person myself before obviously paying for it, all that sort of stuff. And immediately when I met the person and they handed the box over to me, for several different reasons, could tell it wasn't real, and they allowed me to open it there and then, so they could actually see the situation. But it's things like that. Had that box then been sold sealed without someone asking to authenticate it, say someone just online said, happy to do the deal, made the payment, they then have a fake box on their hands. They then have to go through the process of trying to get refunded. That person who's refunded is then lumped with the fake box. It's a chain, isn't it? It's a whole thing that can be avoided. And as you can see here, we can see the box actually being open with this one. So it is avoiding any uncertainty, any questioning that people might think, oh my goodness, do I know what I'm buying?
Is there a chance that this isn't what I'm buying?
So they take the wrap off completely. They open the box up. They go into detail a lot, showing everything. As you can see here, you'll get to see all the packs, and then it gets tamper sealed back up. And you can be confident that what you're buying is exactly, you know, what you're wanting to pay for and what you're looking for. So all the packs get taken out and shown. And like I said, this little preview video sits on every
item auction
with all the booster boxes. So we have got, I'm going to refresh this page actually, just so we can see if the prices have changed at all as the auction is slowly starting to come to an end. Just trying to see what ungodly hour is it in the UK. It's 2:20 in the morning. But like I said, it's something a little bit different. It's content that I haven't really done on my channel before.
No.
But it's funny because all of this happens in the background. Myself and Dean both do this as a job, but we also have our own collections. So we have bought from auctions before. We, you know, all this buying and selling happens in the background.
Yeah, and we haven't done it for about a year, so it's always really good to see like how much prices have changed in that time frame.
And like we ourselves are always keeping an eye on prices for obvious reasons, so that we're always, you know, trying to get the best deal when we're doing things. So it's not something we talk about a lot. So actually doing this kind of content is a little bit different. It gives you a different insight into a different area of what we're doing. We're not just sitting opening packs all day long, even though we love that part. So as you can see, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 booster boxes, a Team Rocket, quite a healthy price on that one, 2 First Ed Fossil, and then 2 First Ed Jungle. So it will be interesting to see, for example, the Team Rocket will go for whatever the price goes, but if the duplicate boxes all go for the same prices, or one goes slightly higher, one goes slightly lower.
And it also becomes a bit of a mind game with auctions, because like we can see in this weekly auction is that there are 2 Fossil First Editions and 2 Jungles. As a bidder, do you wait on the first one to go to see if you can kind of go if the second one's going to go for cheaper, or is it going to go for more expensive? And we've had that in the past where we've looked at auctions that have multiple boxes that are the same set, for instance, base set, and you have to kind of pick which one you want to kind of put your money on, because it could go higher, it could go lower, but it's also really interesting to see if there is just a strong interest for one of the boxes, or if there is like a lot of
there's
people,
enough people wanting
after all of them, or
3 or 4 boxes.
That is very true.
So we just got the butler in the background who's also watching with us. Something I did just want to point out, and I haven't mentioned it yet, and Admiral just dropped it in the chat. Don't forget the 20% buyer's premium, which will be on top of the price that you see. So just want to put that in there. And Vampire Queen Bree, here's for the energy drinks and coffee you'll need later. Bree, thank you very, very much. Like I said, these first few streams, I think we might look a little bit tired on Sundays, but I think once we get going with it, we'll get a bit more, our bodies will get a bit more used to it. But not doing it live kind of becomes a little bit irrelevant, which is why we want to sit here, do it live, especially into the extended bidding period, so you guys get a real feel for it. So a few boxes up this evening. We'll be intrigued to see where they all land, because ourselves, we've picked up Jungle, Rocket and Fossil multiple times over the past year.
I mean, so it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm looking at the First Ed Rocket, and I'm trying to work out what I paid last year for it. I think it was pretty close to that price. It may have gone up a little bit.
So you bought that. Yeah. You bought that box back in, was it April?
No, it would have been maybe March, because we went out in April, didn't we?
But we didn't pick it up till June, that one.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, because we went in April.
Yeah, but that was with Amber.
Yeah, and that's when that was.
But we didn't. Oh,
we did pick 'em up.
No, but that was, I went to pick up one. That's what I'm getting confused with. That's what I mean. We bought multiple boxes.
Bought so many.
No, you are correct. That was in April.
So that might have been about March time. So nearly a year ago.
Yeah.
And the prices are still going strong, because remember, guys, like 2 years ago was the boom, and a lot of people were thinking that bubble was going to burst, but it seems to show that these boxes are still going for quite a healthy price.
I feel like Rocket is always very popular as well. So there's been a question about if a box doesn't have a seal. So what we've just seen is these boxes have had the seals removed so they can be authenticated and they do get tamper seal back up. If the box doesn't have a seal, is it as appealing to those people who buy the boxes to break them? What does the live chat think about that? If you are a streamer, for example, and you are buying a vintage box in for a break, wherever you open them and sell the packs, if that box has been guaranteed authentic, however, the actual wrap's been taken off it and tamper seal back up, does that affect your decision? Does it put you off buying it, or does it make you more comfortable buying it? Because actually you're thinking now you have 100% comfort when you're, breaking the packs and selling them on that. Or as a collector, yeah. But talking about streamers for the second, does it give you more comfort that what you're selling is then, authentic for your customers as well? And then if you're buying for your personal collection, does it then put you off buying for your personal collection? Because if you're a sealed collector, it takes away that sealed pedigree.
But then you don't know if it's real.
But then if you don't do it, you don't know if it's real. So actually, again, you've got the peace of mind that it's been authenticated.
The one thing
it's
I will say, it's a fine line. And I will say that I think in the last 2 years, there's been a massive rise in rip and ship and box breaks and stuff like that, where maybe before the boom, there would have been a lot of collectors that would have wanted to collect just for their sealed collection.
Yeah.
But now, as it's mentioned, that there are box breakers and rip and ship, that there are people out there who are just looking for product. They don't care if the box is sealed in the original WotC wrapper. They just want to know, I'm buying a First Ed Rocket box. I need to make sure that these packs are real.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a completely bigger growth of market of people out there looking for these types of boxes. So
yeah,
I think
it's an interesting topic, definitely.
I think there's definitely a fine line, but as PWCC put in the chat that they want to make sure that what they have on their auction on their websites are as authentic as can be humanly verified. So and Viltrum Empire, thank you so much for the super chat. Keep up the good work, Mrs. Glitchy Hands. We've had some crazy luck recently, so it's been wild. Right, so that's the boxes. I think we've spoken about them quite a lot, so we'll probably come back to them in a little bit. But as you can see, like I said at the beginning, I have filtered it from high to low, and there is some spectacular cards on the weekly auction. So we're just going to do a quick scroll, and then I think we're going to go into the cards more individually that I've opened the tabs for, that I kind of want to look at. So as we can see up here, I feel like Charizard always leads the way with auctions, especially when you're looking at what's maybe going most expensive versus lower end. So up here, we've actually got a PSA 10 Expedition Charizard. What a card as well.
Incredible card. It doesn't get much better than that. Be very interested to see where that actually ends. We are going to talk a little bit more about that card in a moment. We do have another Charizard here. So this is the Japanese Gold Star Zard, again in a PSA 10. Another huge card. Insane. And then we have something that I did want to talk about, the auto side of things. So this is a first edition base Zard. However, the card itself isn't graded. It's the autograph that's graded. So as you can see, it says Auto 10, authentic. So it's not the card that's the PSA 10 with regards to condition. It's the autograph. So over the last, shall I say, 3 to 4 months, there's been a lot of signing events that have happened all over the world, actually, in Europe and the USA mainly. And I feel like the new year was about the time where we would start to see a lot of these popping up on auction, graded. And as we scroll through this evening, you will actually see a lot of autos. There is actually quite a lot of autos. Just want to shout out Captain Rafa for the live breaks. If it's a reputable source open box, it's okay for the breaks, but definitely wouldn't want it for the personal collection. Loving the behind the scenes stream. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. And keep your thoughts coming in the chat tonight with everything we're talking about, guys.
We love to hear your opinions, guys.
That's why we're doing this. We want to do it with you guys. So yeah, the last 3 to 4 months, there's been lots of signing events, a few different artists, not lots, a few different artists have been signing. Here we've got a Rita signing, iconic first edition base set Zard. And I think they've so many people went to these events, and so many people got so many cards signed.
Well,
Don't
one
get
of them
me
was
wrong.
went crazy, didn't it?
There was a bit of controversy about some of them because of logistics and issues that went on at them. But yeah, we're talking about hundreds and if not thousands of cards have been signed, so they were bound to start popping up on the open market. Some people will have had them signed and will just keep them in their collection because that's something they want to do, but say maybe if they got multiple signed, they might have been going with the idea, you know, to get 1 or 2 signed to keep, 1 or 2 signed to sell on. So there is one of the more standout certs, but as we go down, we will start to see that there is quite a few autos in this particular auction. Buddy with the super chat, showing some new stream love. Good luck, Chloe and Dean. Buddy, thank you so much
buddy.
for your support as always. I appreciate it.
Munchies also has a question. Do you think do you guys think Silver Tempest is a short run? I'm sitting on my last boxes. You watched that Lugia in 5 years. I will definitely say I think Sword and Shield era has been absolutely incredible, and we saw the likes of X and Y have some boxes that at the moment are going for pretty high, like in the $700 to what Evolutions went up to $1,000 at one point. I genuinely think that with Silver Tempest and the likes, especially the sets that came out in 2022 of Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, with that trainer gallery, I think you're going to see that those are the sets that definitely in a couple of years, 5 years maybe, go to $300 to $500 boxes. So
be interesting to see where it goes.
It's going to be interesting.
Billy has just asked a question saying, purchasing from the UK, how hard do you get hit with custom fees? This would be my concern as I'm in Canada, always run into trouble. So whenever you're buying overseas, there is always your custom and import. So I can understand. So for example, I think someone asked earlier if there's like a similar auction house here in the UK that sells, you know, Pokemon on this sort of level. There isn't. So it is a little bit tougher when purchasing overseas. It's around 20 to 25%. So if you are then purchasing something in the tens of thousands, for example, that can then become really, really expensive, and it can definitely maybe put some people off. So it really depends what you're buying. Sorry, I just want to keep up with the chat. 20 to 25% depending on courier and handling fees. Hits pretty hard, but with PWCC, so it does depend what you're buying. With PWCC, they do have a vault, which is a whole nother world and something we can maybe explore and talk about in the upcoming episodes. So it goes from the auction and then gets returned. So you can purchase the item from the auction, it goes into a vault, and then return them to yourself further down the line. So you're not getting the item immediately, for example. If you leave it in the vault for 6 months, you can return it to yourself without import. Okay, that's interesting. So we think that if you leave it in the vault for more than 6 months, the UK specific, and then have it returned to yourself, you can actually have it returned without those import fees, because I think it then falls under being a personal item because it's been owned for a certain amount of time. I will have to double check on that, but yeah, the vault is there to help ease that. But yeah, I get with import and customs, especially if you're buying the item and then you want it immediately, then that kind of, it doesn't help the situation. But if it's something that's going to sit in your collection and you don't have the need to have it physically immediately, then that's something that that could work quite well. So as we're scrolling through here, we see we could actually got a first edition base set booster pack graded here, PSA 10. So like I said, there isn't just cards, there's boxes, graded packs. As you can see here, this is the one I bid on earlier, and it says you've been outbid. So when you're logged in and if you've bid on items, you will get that little orange bar.
It gives you a good indication.
Yeah, you can see where you are with it. So we have lots of good cards. We've got the Legendary Collection Reverse Charizard here in a BGS 9. We got the Screen promos as well. These ones aren't loading at the moment. We'll give the computer a moment. But what I think I'm going to do is I think we're going to start working our way through what I've pulled up. So going back to the Exhibition Charizard here in a PSA 10. So I've basically, all the cards that I kind of wanted to hone in and focus on tonight, I've made some notes for myself so that we can cover off some stats on them and some facts as we go. So this particular card is Population 40 in a PSA 10, and Last sold, I couldn't find. With cards like this, it's hard to find. It's not something that pops up all the time for sale.
Pardon the pun.
I do, however, know that as of recently, there have been people advertising this card around $15,000. So you'd kind of expect it maybe somewhere between $12,000 to $14,000. But, you know, until it actually happens, we're not going to know. But I have seen it advertised as of recent around the $15,000 mark.
I was just about to say, I think the thing you usually find is that people that have these high-end low-pop cards is they actually wait for an auction to happen to then kind of work out what price to set their card that they want to sell for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time is that people, when there's really low-pop cards, is they actually don't know what that card would go for. Like, because you could make any number up, but what someone's actually willing to pay for...
At the end of the day, that's all it is.
...is a different matter. So... I think a lot of people wait for auctions like this to happen, and then they get a true indication of, okay, so this is what it's currently going for at the moment. Maybe I want to try and go for a little bit more or a little bit less and stuff like that.
So like current market value, basically. PWCC have just mentioned, fun fact about the Vault, it's entirely free, no storage fees, no archival fees, and item is appraised and insured free of charge. So there we go. I think maybe in one of the upcoming episodes we'll do a deeper dive about the Vault, because it'll be interesting for people to know more about it, because there may be, I think already some people this evening didn't even know that sort of existed.
Especially if you're looking to purchase on the website.
So here, beautiful card, being a PSA 10 copy, obviously you can't ask for anything better. Obviously it being a very sought after card, it's a very expensive card as well, so it'd be interesting to see where this ends. It'd be interesting if anyone in the live chat as we're going this evening has their sort of opinions on where they think these cards should be priced. Let us know what you're thinking, and obviously we'll try and interact with you guys as much as we go. But Dean is a massive Charizard fan, so would this be like not a grail card, but something you'd want in
definitely
your
I'd love
collection?
to add to my collection. Like you said, it'll be really interesting to see what it goes for, because if 15,000 is what we're seeing people are trying to kind of advertise for, it'll be interesting to see what it ends on, but then it'll be interesting to see what happens in the extended bidding.
Yes, as well, because that's where it gets tense.
That's when it gets a little bit okay, maybe people are willing to try and go for it a little bit harder. So yeah, definitely one I'd love to add to my collection. I absolutely love this card. It looks absolutely incredible. I've seen it in person and it looks amazing. So the fact that it's in a PSA 10 as well, it is a very, very sought after card.
You can't get any better. So we will come back to all of these ones during extended bidding and see where everything is. So moving on, next up, another card that I wanted to pay a little bit of attention to, the Pop Series 5 Gold Star Umbreon. So this in a PSA 8 is population 67. So I did a little bit of digging for last sold. So a PSA 6 sold for around $1,800 last November. So 2022, November just gone. And then I actually saw a PSA 7 Espeon, which is also its popular counterpart, sold for around $2,200. So it'd be interesting to see what the PSA 8 Umbreon Gold Star goes for. I have been lucky enough to own this card before. And what do you think about the Gold Star Umbreon? Obviously, that was a bit of a flat response there. So obviously there's a few other Gold Stars which I think we'll see as we go in comparison to the other Gold Stars.
I just wish they were hollow.
I understand that.
It obviously you have the incredible cards such as the other evolutions in Flareon, Vaporeon and Jolteon.
Yeah.
You've got the Gold Star Charizard, you've got the Rayquaza, which look absolutely incredible. I do love the artwork. I really, really do. And obviously they're shiny. You got a shiny Umbreon which looks absolutely awesome. I just wish that they made it a holo. I think it would have made it look even more epic. And the play promo.
Yeah, the play promo is... I mean, this is expensive. The play promo is a lot more expensive, which is like the Japanese holo exclusive. But
so yeah, that's like the other ones we've seen. So there are some Japanese exclusives that are holos. A lot of the Expedition... the lottery Charizard is
which we'll have a look at. Yeah,
we'll come to that in a second. But the fact that you can only get that in Japanese is quite, as an English collector, it's a little bit disappointing.
Like you're suffering a little bit.
But still, a very, very cool card. And I know like Gold Stars are absolutely incredible. I love them. And especially someone who we know some people who are Gold Star collectors.
Yeah.
you have to add it to the collection, right? You can't just miss out on these.
If you're going for all of them, yeah.
Yeah, you can't leave them out.
But yeah, this is a beautiful card. So again, population 67 on the PSA 8. Be interesting to see where this ends for. I found a PSA 6 sold for around 1,800, but that was back in November, so a few months ago now. Obviously 2 grades below the 8 as well.
We've got some comments saying, love the artwork. Everything doesn't need to be a holo, honestly. Yeah, very, very true.
Very true. It doesn't always have to be.
I still think it looks, like I said, I did say the artwork is absolutely incredible. I love it. But that's just personal preference to me. And like you said, definitely doesn't have to be a holo for sure.
And also, Greg just mentioned in Celebrations, this card was not reimagined. It was, reconstructed. Modernized for the Celebrations set, which came out. When did Celebrations come out?
2021. Yeah.
Okay.
October
That's a long time ago. It doesn't feel like that long ago. But yeah, they did the modernized version. So that there was the base set Zard, Venusaur and Blastoise that also got modernized. The Gold Star Umbreon was picked in the set. And it is actually very beautiful card. In Celebrations as well.
Yeah.
Admiral absolutely loves the true Gold Star Greninja. I mean, we'll beg to differ on that one.
The other thing as well is that these are the only Gold Stars that didn't come from a set, right? You could only get them from the Pop Series packs.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unique as well. So they have a pretty cool story to them. So
very nice card.
Very nice cards.
Just wanted to point that one out, that we've got that one in the auction this evening. Okay, moving on. This card I personally just think is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So as of recently, I know both of us have been actually starting to open up quite a bit of Heart Gold era on the channel. It's not a set I grew up with. I didn't collect during this era. And when I got back into Pokemon, I was not drawn to the Heart Gold era.
I loved it.
But it has definitely grown on me. And the Prime cards, I love them. I think they're beautiful. The border on them, I know they're not everyone's cup of tea. I feel like they are a bit like Marmite. You love them or you hate them. But I have got a little bit of information on this one. So this in a PSA 10, I had a little look and there have been quite a few sales over the last sort of month to 2 months. So I found a sale at $1,375, $1,236 and $1,400. So all sort of within the same price bracket roughly. This one is currently sitting at 1,025. We still got 20 minutes. 1,075. Still got 20 minutes left until extended bidding starts. What does the chat think of Prime cards? What is the opinion? So this is from Heart Gold Undaunted. I've never pulled this card ever. Been lucky enough to pull a couple of the Prime cards, but like I said, I've definitely started opening more of this era. So I just kind of wanted to have a little look at this one, have a focus on it. Would love to pull that for someone one day, even myself. But
in my opinion, Heart Gold Soul Silver has some of the best artwork.
The artwork,
genuinely so good, and I love the borders as well.
Yeah,
it's not just the kind of like primal. I don't even know how you describe the spikes. I guess it's like
it's almost like it's sort of
ripping out the card.
Yeah. Breaking out of the actual artwork itself.
But just the glitter hollow borders as well. It's just super nice.
Yeah, the hollow borders are beautiful. So yeah, this one currently at just over $1,000. In the last few sales, I've seen around the $1,300 to $1,400 mark. So again, that's literally in the last 1 to 2 months. There's actually been a couple of sales on this one. Admiral was saying they're the worse version of Level X's. Interesting.
I love Level X's as well. So
could start a debate right here.
I love them both.
Gengar Brigade, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Heart Gold skyrocketing in popularity. I feel that from even our streams, the interest is definitely growing, whereas I don't feel people appreciated some of the sets and the cards before. But as we started opening and seeing them more, I feel like people have definitely started to...
I feel like Heart Gold Soul Silver has, especially sealed boxes, they have that very high seal price where the boxes go for a lot more than what the packs sell for.
Yeah.
Maybe
that happens with a lot of
maybe
things
the packs are underrated at the moment, or maybe the people are just trying to hold on to the boxes for a higher value. Price just
gone up. Another thing I would say is as time goes on and these do start to become a little bit older, the interest might peak, so the 2010, oh my goodness, 13 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That makes me feel a little bit unwell. So yeah, it's just something to bear in mind as it becomes a little bit more vintage as such. I always feel like things will start to creep up, and time moves very quickly, whether you like it or not. Right, okay. Now we're going to have a little look at the Pikachu stamp promo right here. So this is an interesting one. So here we have it in a Beckett Black Label. So your best of your best with Beckett, BGS. Tonight in the auction, there are actually several copies of this card. All the other copies, I think, are actually PSA 10 as well. And what's even more interesting is that a few of them are sequentials, the PSA certs, which makes it look like it's the same person that's actually graded them, and they've come back and then they've put them up on auction. So I'd like to know from the live chat this evening, if you had graded this card, for example, with PSA, and you've got it back, 3 times over in a PSA 10 and you were looking to sell, would you send all 3 of your copies at once to be auctioned off in the same auction, or would you spread them out? Do you think it sort of can damage, possibly getting that price that you want for it? Because basically what you've got to think about is, you send in a card to auction, for example, there's a chance someone else has actually sent in the same card, unless we're talking really expensive and really niche. So already you've got the potential of maybe fighting against someone else to get the best price. But then if you're sending in multiple copies yourself of the same card in the same grade, you're then fighting against yourself. And I just feel like, are you spreading yourself a bit thin, especially if you're trying to get the best price out of it, or are you just looking to get rid of them quickly and you're not that bothered? So people saying I'd spread them out. I just thought it was interesting, because as I was looking through earlier, and I will try and pull them up as we go, I started opening up the PSA 10 ones because I noticed there were so many copies, and then I started to notice the sequential certs with a few of them. So I think spreading them out definitely would help if you're looking for the maximum price.
The thing I will say,
people aren't fighting over it then.
The thing I will say is that this is still quite a very modern card.
It is. This is extremely modern.
I know I've seen people purchase multiple copies of this card. So what this could be is, someone could just have a lot of them. They may have graded 20 of them.
Yeah, true.
And they just need capital. They need money back to either maybe reinvest, or they need the money to make back from what they spent on buying multiple copies of them.
Yeah.
And they're happy to let 3 go. And they if they go for around the same price, give or take, whatever, like maybe 100 or whatever, then that's fine with them. They just actually need the money. So I definitely agree with you guys in the chat, and a lot of you guys are saying the same thing of stagger them out, let a lot of people fight over one or bid on one. But there are some people that are just trying to maximize profits and try and recoup and reinvest, because they could get that money, maybe purchase 100 special delivery Charizards.
It depends what their goal is and what they're looking to do.
Just literally making an example. But
I just want to say a massive shout out to Amy who has been a member for 17 months on the channel. You're going late tonight. We are indeed. How are you doing? PokeDean, missed you friend. PokeChloe, #, taking on the world. Lint Rolling Squad. Bolton is the best boy. Amy, thank you so much. 17 months of support is
shout
insane.
Shout out to you, Amy and Chloe.
I appreciate you. We are doing a late one tonight, but it's all part of the fun. So I just thought I'd particularly just wanted to mention this so that we can keep an eye on it as we do get into the extended bidding, just to see what happens with the multiple PSA 10 copies, and also the price difference between the Black Label versus the PSA 10. So just wanted to mention that. It's
going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. So moving on, we're now looking at the Masaki Gengar in a PSA 9.
Probably the best Gengar artwork of all time.
So this artwork is insane. I have been very, very fortunate enough to grade this card once, and it actually came back a 10, which was the last thing I was expecting when that happened. These cards can be prone to what they call the Masaki mark, or the Masaki dent on the backs of the cards where they were held in. You can Google it. There's a lot of Reddit forum posts about it where you can kind of see. Anyway, so I just wanted to pull this one up. I love this card, love this artwork, like you said. So this population is 192 pop in a PSA 9. There's 57 in a 10, just to give you an idea what we're looking at there. The last solds that I could see was $1,558, and then there was a $1,255 sale, and that was an older label. So whether the older label had that effect, it wasn't as appealing to whoever was looking at the time. The newer label ended up selling for more.
So this, as you can see on the website, is an older label.
Yes, this is 26 million.
And how much did that one go for?
So the older label that I found ended up going for $1,255.
So similar price at the moment.
Yeah, so and we still have 12 minutes left until...
And then also you have the buyer's premium too.
Yeah, as well on top. So, but yeah, beautiful card. Wanted to point this one out. And would never get bored of that card.
Definitely.
Could own that 10 times over, and it would be
Let us
insane.
know in the chat as well if you know the story of how to or how you would have acquired a Masaki Gengar. And
it's actually like when you
it's
think
really fun. It's
when
really
you
cool
think
way.
about the process and how, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's anything on that sort of level.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do at the moment. I guess the equivalent at the moment is paying £15 on the Pokemon Center and you get a promo card sent to you.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, is it? It doesn't have the same effect. It's not as exciting. So yeah, this is a beautiful card. So again, we'll keep an eye. We'll see where that one's ending. Next up here, this is a very, very old set. Look at how old style that label is. You can even see from the back as well. So this is, I mean, everyone recognizes this card from the front or the back. It doesn't matter.
I just had a thought. Do you reckon there's a collector out there who, so you know, people collect Charizard for instance, from PSA 1 to 10?
Yes.
Do you reckon there's someone who wants to collect one in every PSA set?
100%.
Label.
That's actually quite an interesting thought. I bet there is someone out there somewhere. So this is the Ancient Mew, but this is the Era Ancient Mew. So at the bottom of the card, instead of saying Nintendo, it says Nintendo, and here it is in a PSA 10. So this card, I was actually shocked at the pop of a PSA 10. This in a PSA 10, and not the normal Ancient Mew, we're talking the Nintendo Era. In a PSA 10, the population is 478, which is actually insane when you think about it. Obviously, the Era card technically should be slightly rarer, but obviously not. So having a look at last solds on this one, the normal Ancient Mew in a PSA 10 goes for around $300. The latest two sales on the Era, the Nintendo Ancient Mew, I found $550 and $1,200. Very contrasting. This is at $750 currently, so we're obviously going upwards here.
Sort of in the middle.
So yeah, but I was actually really shocked at the pop on this one. I thought that was a lot. We're just going to make the face cam slightly smaller just so you guys can see the titles. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me just...
But if you can't see the title or anything, guys, there
we go. That's better.
There is a link in the chat if you guys want to come go along with us, but hopefully that works a little bit better now. You can see the titles.
This is a very interesting one, and I just thought it was mind-blowing that there's nearly 500 of these in a PSA 10. So
yeah, I think as people are saying in the chat, I think everyone had an Ancient Mew.
Yeah, and like I said, everyone knows what this card is. As soon as you see it from whatever side, whatever angle, you catch the corner of it, you know immediately. Everyone knows the Ancient Mew, especially of our sort of age and generation. So there we go. We got the Nintendo Era in a PSA 10. Ooh, next up, we have got one of my favorite cards, and I'm actually going to show you. I have got this card in a PSA 10. Oh, it's not gonna pick it up, but there it is in a PSA 10. Let's go back to the screen.
I thought it was focused on my face.
So here it is in a PSA 5. So this card itself is this is a personal collection card of mine, the one I just showed you there. I love this card. I acquired my Grand Party this time last year, actually, and it is safely sitting in my personal collection, out of reach from anyone. Here it is in a PSA 5. So this in a lower grade, you just don't see it as often. When I was having a little look for last solds on this, I found a PSA 6 that sold for $560 in October, and then I found a BGS 6.5 that sold for $420. It just doesn't come up as often in the lower grades. And
it's actually really...
I think we're just looking up the pop on that one.
It's difficult to... When you see like the random, like a PSA 5, it's really hard to gauge how much it's worth.
This is the thing. So basically, this card in a PSA 5 might appeal to someone who really, really wants this card. It's not a cheap card in a PSA 10. It's not extortionate, but it's also not cheap. So if it's a card that someone has always wanted to add into their collection, but they're not, getting it in a PSA 9 or 10 isn't the be all and end all. This is where the opportunities come in, getting these cards in lower grades, being able to own it in the collection.
I mean, looking at the picture for a PSA 5, that looks really good.
I was just having a look at that. There must be
just a dent
something
or a
somewhere
crease
that we can't quite see, because in general, there isn't anything that's, unless we both need to go to Specsavers, it is fairly late, so we might just be not seeing things at this point. But yeah, really, really nice card. And also, it being a PSA 5, say if you're looking to buy this card raw, for example, and you're looking to buy a raw one to grade, these lower graded sales, like a PSA 5, it starts to give you a bit of an idea where you can comfortably buy these raw.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if you buy a raw card, it ends up having a dent that you don't see. If the PSA 5 is still going to sell for, $400 odd, you can be confident as long as you didn't overspend on it. You kind of have that sort of, safety bracket there. So, PSA 5s are binder cards with small dents. If I was the seller, I would have cracked it and sold it raw. Interesting. So yeah, like we said, there's nothing obviously that's standing out on there.
That looks like a great binder card.
It's a very nice binder card. Yeah. I would love to have that raw in a binder. So that's the Grand Party in a PSA 5. We have then got, here it is, so as we saw it earlier in the black label, here it is in a PSA 10. I can't remember if this is one of the sequential search, but like I said, we'll have a little look through maybe in a bit and see if the person sending in multiple of these, it's going to affect the price. If, the first few, I don't know if it's going to go up or down. But there it is again, the stamp promo in a PSA 10. Next up, we have a very, very interesting card here. So this card right here is the Mirage's Mew Constructed Starter Deck, and it is a Beckett black label, and this is population 1. So as you can see on the listing, they've got here BGS pop 1 of 1 as of the 13th of Jan, so 3 days ago. I'll be surprised if it's been graded a black label in the last 3 days. But yeah, this is a beautiful card.
So nice.
It's really tough. Cards like this that are pop 1, it is at the end of the day what the person who is after it is willing to pay for it. It is very, very hard with pop 1 cards a lot of the time to have that 100% confidence on price. It really is down to
and what the seller's willing to
what the seller is willing to let it go for. Obviously, at auction, it is what it is. But it really is what that buyer is willing to pay. So this will be an interesting one to watch just to see where it is. Green Tea saying, I feel like a 1 of 1 should go for higher. So let's keep an eye on that and see where it is. So PWCC just mentioned we are getting very, very close to extended bidding. We are 4 minutes 45 seconds away. So we'll look through the rest of these tabs that I've got open, and then we'll go back and start having a look where things start ending. I wanted to pick this one out because me and Dean actually got this card yesterday each. We got gifted it from Mr. Fuji. Thank you very much. Very, Fuji. Very kind. And here it is in a CGC Perfect 10. Really, really beautiful promo. Brand new promo for Scarlet and Violet as well. It's the pre-order Pikachu. And yeah, there's not much else you need to say. It's just a super cute card, and I just thought it was a fun card because we actually picked up a copy ourselves yesterday. Okay. Now, this is something a little bit different. So this is a jumbo. As you can see, it looks a lot larger than your normal graded card.
That's a big case.
It is a big case. And fun fact, I actually have one raw. It's like a little show and tell here. I've picked this out from my collection. I would actually like to get mine graded at some point. It's just something I haven't got round to doing.
I actually think it looks better raw.
So I do understand where you're coming from. The graded case is quite clunky and big.
If they could cut the board, if they could make it a little bit more slim, I think it look really cool.
I understand. It looks huge. So this is it in a PSA 6 and it's already at $210. So again, just be really interested to see where this one ends. I own a raw one myself. Maybe I'll get it graded one day. Maybe I won't. Currently just sits in my personal collection. And I've got one of those jumbo top loaders for it as well to keep it protected. But yeah, as you can see, the actual grading case for this jumbo in particular, it's huge. It's like an iPad. That's what it reminds me of. It's like an iPad shaped case. But yeah, very cool card, very cool jumbo. I own one of those myself as well. Okay, this one, as everyone knows, Chansey is my favorite Pokemon. Also love Blissey. Really, really nice card here. So this is the Blissey EX from Unseen Forces in a PSA 10. Just wanted to have this tab open. I'm just interested to see where this one ends. This is a card I would eventually like to add into my personal collection one day. And I think it's beautiful. Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, it ends next week.
Oh, this one ends next week. Oh, okay. So, as you can see there, ends in 7 days. I was trying to keep my eye out for that, and I've obviously missed it with that one.
You just saw Blissey and thought, add that one in.
Blissey, we're going to come back to this time next week. And then this one here is another one. Now, it looks so dark on the scan, but in real life, I actually own this card myself, as you can see it there. It looks so... It's really weird. The camera just doesn't pick this card up. So this is the... it's the embossed Chansey Miji promo. On the screen, as you can see, it's in a PSA 8. I actually own it in a PSA 9. I just want to say a massive shout out to my mod, Kerry, who actually sent me this card for my personal collection. Kerry, you're an absolute angel. Thank you very much for that. So I've owned that card probably coming up to a year now I've had that. So yeah, there's actually a couple of copies of these. I think there's a couple ending tonight, and then there is a couple ending next week, and they're PSA 7/8. Yeah, Admiral, I'm going to agree with you. The scans and photo of these cards, they really don't do it justice. It just doesn't get picked up by the camera, and it's such a shame because to the eye, it's actually really bright and beautiful. So yeah, kind of just wanted to keep an eye on that one, see where the PSA 8 ends. The one I have is not one that I'm ever going to sell. That's going to sit in my personal collection, but would actually quite like to pick it up in a 10. I can imagine it's not as easy to pick up in a 10. With the card being embossed and textured, it's very shiny. As you can see, it's probably not the easiest to keep in pristine condition, but yeah, there's Chansey that you can't quite see right there.
This reminds me of how Shinings look. Yeah, very much so.
So I am gonna reload up the homepage, and
me too actually own that card. Oh, nice, very nice.
So I'm just gonna go back through and see if, as we're getting close to extended bidding, so that's just shot up a little bit right there.
We're nearly 30 seconds away from extended bidding.
This is where it starts. 1,200 there, 1,200 on the black label. That's just popped up to 1,150. 35. I think that was 3,300 when we looked at it, and that's at 9,750. Okay, the homepage is.
It's all the tabs.
The tabs don't want to load, but if I close the tabs, I'm worried I might...
Chloe gives me stick for having so many tabs on my computer.
I'm worried I might lose it. Let me close that down and we'll see if we can open up the marketplace and go to weekly, open it up in a new tab and see if it pops up. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to show you actually, because I didn't show you this at the beginning. Yeah, I'm going to filter it. So up here, this is really, really easy to use, the auction page. You can actually filter. So if you go to category, and like I said, it's not just Pokemon that they have a little bit of everything, literally. So here are the Pokemon, and I'm just going to filter again, and I'm going to filter to today's auction. There we go. Right, so it is getting tight now. It is getting tight. So I don't know. Yeah, I know. It is literally. Oh, okay. So as you can see, it's starting to change here. So item extended to the next window. So this has now gone in. It's got 30 minutes more. So as you can see, as each one is sort of ticking down, I'm just running my mouses. It says bid needed to extend the item. And as we start scrolling here, you'll start to see them all. So
if there isn't a bid after that time goes, that's it. That auction
will
ended.
close. Yeah. So this one has been extended. This one needs a bid. This one needs a bid. It's red and green. It's quite clear, as you can see.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, these are some cards we haven't actually seen this evening. So we can just have a little scroll through. Like I said, there's over 2,800 cards ending. There are a lot of cards to get through. We obviously can't look at every single one, but we'll have a scroll through here at some that we haven't looked at yet, just so you can see the variation that is available tonight. There's a lot of card-ass cards here. We'll go on to page 2. And in the live chat as well, guys, let me know, are any of you guys bidding on cards tonight? If so, what cards? Or if you could bid on a card, are there any that you've seen so far this evening that you think, oh yeah, I wish I could get in on that one? Okay, we've got loads here. Then we've got some Japanese base set right there.
I'm seeing a few with extended windows.
And also, I don't think we've come across too many yet, but there are modern cards. There's baby shinies, there's alternate art. There really is a little bit of everything. So it's not just base set Charizards and, vintage boxes. There really is something for everyone as well. So no matter what it is you're looking for, I'm sure you'd be able to find what it is. But there's some really cool things on here. It's not all just cards, like I said. We have a little bit of everything. Really like that Pocket Monsters Mewtwo right there, currently at $52. Does need a bid to extend the item. Dean's having a little look on his laptop next to me as well, just to see if there's anything that's popping up. Love this card here. This is the Mew from Japanese Fossil. Bless you.
Sorry about that.
That's currently PSA 9 at $130. And guys, if you have just jumped in this evening, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. We have linked the auction today at the top of the chat. We will be doing that every Sunday. So even though we're scrolling through on the page here, you guys can actually take a look through yourselves, because we might be looking at something that you might not be interested in. You might see something that pops up. Let us know in the chat and we can always go to it and have a look.
Oh wow, there's that secret rare Clefairy from Dream League.
That's a very, very nice card.
That's been extended. That's at $220. Wow.
So we've got lots of Japanese Fossil and Rocket right here.
Wow, Umbreon. Look, there's an Umbreon full art from XY. 200.
Really nice card. Got the Top Sun Greenback Charizard there in a Beckett 8.5, currently at $250. Love these cards. Something a little bit different as well. We'll keep going. Some very pretty cards, like I said.
Nice cards.
There really is a bit of everything. I think there was at least 1 or 2 Umbreon VMAX alternate arts as well. So if we see those pop up, yeah, we can type it in a minute. I just wanted to have a little scroll through, just so people can see everything. Okay, so here is the Nintendo era. Current bid still at $750. A bid is needed to extend the item on that one. Same with the Grand Party, sitting at $360.
If you go on any of the tabs, is it going to say whether...
Let's have a look. So a bid must be placed.
Have any of them had any bids? Oh, that was
current bid.
Must have been the old timer.
Still at 1,200.
So any bid can be placed within the 25 minutes remaining for it to move to the next window.
Yeah, that's correct. Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
This has been extended. So this is the card that a few people were saying in the chat that they think is currently a little bit low. It's pop 1 of 1. It's going to be hard to price this. So really this auction is going to give us an idea where this sits. But this has gone in to the next window. But everything else I think we've had open at the moment currently hasn't had a bid on yet. So it is still sitting and does need another bid to move into the next period. Look at these. How cute is that?
Cool.
So that's Beckett. These are all Beckett right here.
There are so many Umbreon cards up tonight, by the way.
Oh, there are
so many.
There is so many everything up tonight. Like I said, you are spoiled for choice here. It is just... incredible. Even if I sat here all day, I don't think I'd be able to get through and look at everything in detail. But it's just something we have never done on the channel before, and I'm very thankful for Dean for co-hosting with me at 3:05 a.m. here in the UK. But we want to do it in live real time so that it's relevant for you guys, and we can interact with you guys as you guys are watching the auction as well. So here we've got a lot of CGC, a lot of base set here. Love a Chansey. currently at $31 for a base set Chansey 8.5. This Blastoise right here has been moved into the next window. We've got a few Blastoise. We've got a 5.5, a 6.5, an 8, and an 8.5. So lots of different grades there on the Blastoise. So we've moved into a bit of a CGC area right here.
So the Expedition Charizard still is yet to have a bid.
Okay, so it's currently sitting at $9,750. The Expedition Zard that we saw earlier. That's in a PSA 10. Another Chansey.
That's interesting.
Beckett 7, very nice.
The Lottery Charizard's currently at 3,000 with no bids in the extended.
Okay, interesting.
Time.
So lots and lots of Watsy right here. Lots of PSA. Yeah, it was. That is a PSA 7 unlimited right there. Currently sitting at $56. Needs another bid. The Charizard on Premier Auctions looks pretty too. Maybe as we come to the end, so we're going to focus on the weekly auctions, but maybe we will have a look and see what else is going on elsewhere. And Admiral, I did see you say earlier, and I noticed it myself when I was looking, there are a lot of Creatures deck cards coming up next week, and we will have a little look before we end tonight and have a little sneak peek at some of those beautiful cards.
So Chris said, just made a PWCC account to bid tonight. Sadly, it keeps giving me an error on trying to verify my email or phone. Maybe that's something PWCC, if they're sitting in the chat, is able to assist you with.
If not, just reach out to their contact email, and I'm sure they'll be able to help. But the weekly auction is every week. The other thing I would say is, because we're now in extended bidding, if you haven't bid on anything tonight, you can't jump in at extended bidding. You have to have placed your bid on an item or items before extended bidding starts to be eligible for extended bidding. Hopefully that's clear and makes sense. But the fact it's not actually approving and allowing you to
that sounds
jump
a little
in.
bit different.
Yeah. So all of these items here, say for example this one, if I wanted to jump in on this Clefairy right now, I couldn't because I didn't place my original bid before extended bidding starting. So if you want to be in extended bidding and you want to be eligible for it, you have to place your initial bid before the extended bidding period starts. Every single week, though, when we do this, I'm sure we'll have new people jumping in and joining. We will make sure we mention that every week so people get the idea of how extended bidding works. So this is one that we were talking a little bit about earlier with the autos. The first edition base set Charizard with the Auto 10. Signed and sketched by Arita. Currently sitting at $6,250.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. I'd love to know what people think about that. Like I said, we've had lots of signing events over the last 3 to 4 months. Lots more autos and sketches popping up than I think ever before. So again, it's like, flooding the market.
Yeah, I was about to say. So if you guys are looking to buy an auto card, does the condition of the card matter to you, or are you just after the autograph?
So this card, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll mention it again for anyone who wasn't here, the card itself isn't graded a 10. The auto is graded a 10. The card itself is definitely not 10 condition. I don't know if you guys can see here, quite a bit of whitening around the edge up there as well. Again, it's hard to see on the holo if there's any scratches. But it's the actual autograph that's been graded on this. You can have the card and the auto graded at the same time. Some people choose to have both. Some people choose... It's a personal choice.
I think it's more of the case of if you have a minty card, then you'll grade the card as well.
Whereas this one, they've chosen not to.
Someone will pick up a first edition Charizard for pretty cheap to get it signed to then fetch for a higher price.
Yeah.
So they will only get the autograph graded. So that's my question to you guys. Do you care just about the auto, or do you think that the condition of the card matters to you as well? So let me know in the chat.
So yeah, lots of base set right here. Lots of base set. Let's see if we can find some.
Depends on the auto. For Sugimori, it could literally be a candy wrapper for all I care.
Let's have a look at the lowest
bid napkin
first.
Literally just wrote on a napkin.
So we are going to the other end of the spectrum now. So we started off looking at the higher end items. I've now just gone to lowest bid first, so we can see where the lower end cards are sitting. And we got a little bit of everything here. We've got that's the Celebrations Mimikyu promo there in a Beckett 4.
Wow.
Current bid $7. Right, fun fact on this one. BGS Pop, 1 of 1. 9 graded higher. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. A Beckett 4, Pop 1. I can't imagine there's too many more. I
don't think the person was expecting that grade to come back.
No, there was probably something on that they might not have seen.
Yeah.
Lily's, what grading company is that?
Does that say NBA? NBA Auto.
No, so it's just, so the card itself isn't graded out of 10. It's just certified authentic.
Yeah, it's saying it's a Pokemon card.
Interesting. Okay. And that is currently sitting at $8 right there.
Admiral says this is more his budget.
It's not even PSA or BGS. It's unknown. Okay, let's keep going and see what else we have down here. Sort of below the $20 mark right now. We got some Evolutions.
That Ninetales is cool. The Japanese
here.
Ninetales, yeah, that's really nice.
PSA 8 currently sitting at $9.
And the Mew.
Mew's very cute as well. That's a PSA 7 also sitting at $9. So all of these currently don't have any bids on to push them into the next extended bidding window. That's our new partnership with NBA. Authenticates the card versus assigning a grade. Okay, interesting. Helps with selling and verifying raw cards. Yeah, of course. Okay, brilliant. So anyone who was wondering what those NBA slabs were, because I hadn't actually seen those before.
Seen them either.
So that's good to know. So I'm sure we'll see those more on upcoming auctions. So quite a few Beckett here in the lower end. A little bit of everything as well. We have got vintage. We have got modern. And let's see what we're moving into here. So again, still under the $20 mark at the moment. So like I said earlier, with auctions, it doesn't have to be about the cards that are in the thousands, the tens of thousands. There is something for everyone.
Literally.
And we're talking vintage all the way to modern as well. It's not one or the other. With over 2,500 cards on this weekly auction just tonight, that itself is
crazy,
insane, and just shows you how much option is there and is available. So like we said, we have got the link to tonight's auction. You can't bid now unless you are already in the extended bidding because you were bidding earlier, but if you want to look at the upcoming auction for next week, you can do so, and we will have a little look at that at the end. And if throughout this week you guys want to keep an eye on it, so by the time we come to live stream next week, some of you might be ready in the chat with some things that you're bidding on and that you're interested in. PokeSurge member for 13 months. This is definitely past your bedtime. It's okay. We're enjoying it. We're powering through. We all know a friend or ourselves that have way too many raw cards. Honestly, sometimes I say to people, it's a good job you can't see the rest of the studio because it is wild. It is wild. Okay.
Too many raw cards. Too many.
So lots of Japanese right here as well. And again, lots of PSA 10s. PSA 10s currently sitting at $10. This one here has been extended. These ones haven't. So I know Amy on would love this one. We got lots of Boltons. So yeah, lots of PSA 10s here. Still under, we're at $10 right here. And we're already going into page 6. So like I said, lots of lower end, much more affordable. These are the shinies that I saw earlier. Again, currently sitting at $10. Got a couple of PSA 9s there.
Yeah, these are really good. Especially if you're trying to pick up a little collection.
Yeah, if you're looking to put together some sort of smaller graded collection and you want somewhere to start, this is a great place to start. Here is the NBA again. So
see, that's probably a really good way to have it, because a lot of people don't know about that Dark Persian, because you could get that only through the comic, wasn't it? So the fact that it's actually authenticated, that like you'd be like, oh, I love this card, but I've never seen this. This could be fake.
Again, you've got the confidence.
Now you've got the confidence and the authentication that that's actually.
So for those of you who don't know, NBA grade the card as authentic rather than giving a grade 1 to 10 like the likes of PSA, Beckett, CGC. They are grading the card as authentic. They have a new partnership with PWCC. They've just mentioned in the chat tonight.
So I only learned about that card a year ago. I didn't even know that card existed.
A friend of mine is a Persian collector, and she did a little clip on that once. Yeah. Very, very interesting. I absolutely love this Pichu from Expedition. That's the definition of happiness. So this at PSA 6, currently at $11, hasn't been pushed into the next window yet. I mean,
oh, you can click on the MB listing, yeah.
Oh, you can click into the MPA listing for a video. Okay.
The Persian.
Was it on the previous page? I'm going to go back to it. We'll have just a little scroll here slowly. Got some Charizards here.
Some more Ninetales. We do have a lot. Ninetales.
Loads of 9 tails.
Yeah.
But like I feel with 2,000 cards, you're always going to, like you said, there were lots of Umbreons.
Yeah,
I feel like
true.
we're always going to have a lot of everything.
There it
so
is. Third one
there
in
we
there.
go.
Yeah.
Let's open that up. And then what I might do is click back through the tabs.
So this is the process.
Oh, and it's got a swirl on the top as well. Okay, that's it looks like it. Yeah,
it is.
So yeah.
Really nice. Look at that.
And like I said, these little videos that are in the actual listings, whether it's for the cards or for the booster boxes, it's just that extra touch of detail.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the amount of items on the auction, and bear in mind, guys, we are only looking at the Pokemon segment. We're not looking at sports. We're not looking at the other TCGs like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. We are only looking at Pokemon. So it kind of just puts in your head how much is actually going through the weekly auctions, which is incredible.
Absolutely phenomenal.
We are just going to have a quick look and go back to what we were looking at earlier. This hasn't moved. This is still sitting at 6,250. We have then got the Umbreon. This hasn't moved either since we've just looked. 3,500. This is currently a PSA 8. We have then got the Prime. This is sitting at 1150, PSA 10. Love this card. Beautiful card. Allows you to buy raw with confidence. Yeah. 100%.
Like I said, especially if there's certain cards that you're not too familiar with.
It gives you that.
You love that Pokemon. For instance, you said your friend loves Persians.
Yeah.
You may find a Persian card that you've never seen before. And you're like, wow.
You want more details about it.
Is this real or is this a custom card?
Yeah.
With that, it's going to help you buy with confidence.
Definitely. So this Black Label stamp promo, the Pikachu, is currently sitting at 1,200.
Right.
If we go to the PSA 10,
wow,
it's currently sitting at $290.
That is a big difference.
That's a big difference. And I would like the chat to tell me, do we think that it being a Black Label...
It's giving it that
pedigree. It really give it that extra, that it's worth that much more? Bear in mind the card we're looking at here. It is a modern promo. We're talking 2021. And tonight alone, there is over 5, 6, 7 PSA 10 copies.
Yeah.
And I think there's only one Black Label that I've come across. There may be more sitting around, but I think there's only one that I've seen. That's $1,000 more nearly. That is $1,000 more. Spoons is saying, in my opinion, no. I do feel sometimes the Black Label, it's over the top with some don't get me wrong, I understand it is, the best with Beckett, but it just seems crazy that some Black Labels,
it's just people
we're talking like quadruple the price with some cards. It's just wild.
It's people are always looking for that next thing. It's
the bigger the better, and if
people have a 1, they want a 2. If they want a 2, they want a 3, and so on and so forth. They've got the 10, but there's a special 10.
Exactly.
They want the special 10.
Cactus is saying to collectors, some collectors, Black Labels, everything.
Yeah.
And also
it's the pinnacle.
Black Label, you do get Black Label collectors as well. But yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. Going back to the Masaki Gengar, this is currently sitting at PSA 9 still.
10 minutes
10
left.
minutes, still at 1,200, hasn't moved. This is still at 750.
Yeah.
So when I was talking about the last sales on this one.
The Expedition Charizards had a bid.
Oh, okay. We'll have a look at that in a second.
So that's now at $10,000.
Right. So like I said, I had seen people advertising that Expedition Zard around $15,000. So it's now starting to creep.
So that would be 10,200 with buyer's premium, right?
So it is starting to get up there.
Oh, no. Hold on. I said that completely wrong. It's 12,000.
Dean's quick maths.
Yeah, I'm not the best with maths. It'll be 12,000.
Okay, this has pumped up a little bit. So the Grand Party in a PSA 5 has actually jumped up to $370. So that has been pushed in to the next window. This is still sitting at $290. Like I said, there are several of these. So it'll be interesting. Okay, this has gone up a fraction again. So again, this is pop 1 of 1. Not only is it a Black Label, it's pop 1 of 1. So really, this is going to be determined by, there has to be a person out there tonight who is particularly after this card and willing to pay the whatever that top dollar is for it. And with so many cards on the auction, sometimes, does it reach, does it get in front of the right people sometimes? So it's like with anything, it's what that person right now that is looking for this card in particular in a Black Label, what are they willing to pay for it? So we'll come back to that one.
Yep. Yeah, it is 12,000 Emerald. I got my math wrong.
Yeah, we'll get Dean a new calculator.
And a new brain.
It's very late, so we'll let ourselves off. So this is still at $220. Again, beautiful card. Just wanted to keep an eye on that because we've literally just picked it up raw. So the jumbo is still sitting at $210 for a PSA 6 for a jumbo. The Koro Charizard, not bad at all. And this is still sitting at $32. Again, these cards
quite niche.
Are very niche. They're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You've got to have a crazy chancy collector like me out there looking for it. PSA 8 as well. I have a PSA 9 copy. Again, it just depends what that person is looking for at the time. Okay, here we go.
10,000.
Here it is, $10,000.
So what was the price it went for?
So I couldn't find sales on this. So the information I took was from what I've seen people advertising it at as of recent. So as of recent, I have seen it advertised around the $15,000 mark. So in my head, I thought anywhere between 12 to 14,000 might be along the right lines. Admiral saying, unlike your usual streams, this is a very Australian friendly time zone. I'll be here every week. Admiral, it wouldn't be the same without you. And like I said, it is actually quite nice to have people in on the streams that we probably wouldn't have in on our normal streams because we're streaming at a completely different time.
Shout out to all the regulars though as well.
Yeah, can I just say the people who are here, and I know it's late where you are, thank you very much for being here. Right, okay, let's keep having a little scroll through.
Greg says
what
we
have to
have a crack at an auctioneer voice for bids when they close.
I just haven't got.
I don't have the speed.
I can't. It's just,
I can't even speak properly when I speak at a normal speed.
Dean can just about speak English, let alone. Right, I've just filtered high to low again, just so we can see where we are. So as we can see, that's 10. This is sitting at $9,250. Still the same price on the auto. So there is the lottery. Oh, it's a beautiful card. Oh, if I open it, because I actually bid on it earlier. Let's have a look. No, it just says I've been outbid. So this was before.
You're able to update your max bid.
This was before extended bidding starting, because I placed an initial bid on this. I can still jump in.
Guys, how amazing is that card? I wish we could have got that in English.
It's a beautiful card. It really, really is. You can, but it just.
Oh wow!
Zoom in right in on that artwork right there.
By the way, it's funny that has blue wings, and then the Expedition Charizard has green wings. Where are the boxes? Oh yeah.
Have they dropped off because they
No, they got 6 minutes left. I've got them on my page.
Right. What price are they?
The rocket box has disappeared.
Oh.
I can't find the rocket box, but there hasn't been a bid. So currently, with 6 minutes left, First Ed Fossil is going for 8,500. Oh, they're all at 8,500. 2 fossils.
Don't know where the boxes have gone on
2
my
jungles.
screen. They're on Dean's screen, but they're not popping up on mine.
The rocket. Oh no, the rocket's here too. The rocket's got 5 minutes left, or 5 minutes 55, and it's currently at 11.
This has just jumped up to 6.5. Okay.
So that's extended, right?
Yes, it is indeed. So we got a couple of legendary collection Zards here on the screen. This one is a Beckett 9. This is one we saw earlier. Where's that gone? Currently at $2,300. And then we have a PSA now. This is just graded authentic. And this is signed by Arita, currently sitting at $1,600. So quite close to the... Not far off, considering it's just the authentic grade. We've got a Japanese Gold Star Celebi sitting at 2,000. That has also been pushed into the next window. All of these still sort of sitting where they are. That Masaki Gengar hasn't moved yet. I'll turn the filter on for boxes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
1 in 14 Masaki Gengars get a 10. Wow.
So if I go to category...
Oh, that Charizard illustration one's been...
I mean, I did choose just Pokemon rather than cards, so I don't know why.
I typed Pokemon on Search Weekly Auction. No.
Okay, I'll try. I'm just going to close a few tabs because I'm worried the computer might blow up in a second. I'm going to close the Umbreon. What else have we got up here? I'm going to take one more peek at the Prime. I'm going to close that. I'm sure we'll see it in a moment. I will keep that one open. Now I know how you feel when you don't want to close your tabs. I will keep that one open.
What's up, RJ? How's it going? We've got Hayley here too.
Keep that one open.
I'm putting my Silver Tempest binder together right now, so this is the best ambience. Oh, amazing! How close are you to completing it? I have the same filters, and I see the boxes. Oh,
really strange.
I'm scared to refresh.
As you can see, mine is struggling. Let's close it back down, and let's go back. So that's at 6.5. This is still at 10. Okay, let's open up the.
But I
page
never
again.
really noticed that green wing.
Yeah.
And then the lottery's blue wing.
Oh yeah, seeing the comparison.
And they're in the same set.
Right. Okay. Let's go. So again, if you're new to PWCC, you haven't used it before, the home page, you can click marketplaces. It's got it all there. We're focusing on the weekly.
All those tabs drive me nuts. Welcome. You should see my computer.
Normally, I don't have tabs,
multiple
but
windows
we're only doing it
multiple
tonight.
Tabs.
So we're going to filter here. You can choose by category. And like I said, you can see all the categories, which is just insane. We've got Pokemon. We're going to press apply. And then we are going to sort by highest bid first, and also we're going to make sure we are on this weekly auction. So there we go. And like I said, we will be able to actually look into the next weekly auction. No, the box is just they don't want to be here this evening with me. 3 Diglets. The Mimikyu card giving homage to the screen painting is everything. It is a beautiful card. As we can see, that's currently sitting at 2,800 there in a PSA 10. So I believe the Mimikyu always goes a little bit higher because it's lower pop. Yeah. I know the Pikachu is very popular and also holds a good price. Obviously fan favorite. But I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, that the Mimikyu does hold a little bit of a better premium because of the pop. And there is the Pikachu sitting at 1,600. So the Mimikyu's actually jumped up a fair bit now, sitting at $2,800 on that one. Right, let's see where we are. A couple of these have had their bids on now, so they'll be pushed. Been extended. That peak has been extended. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. 2 minutes until the next window. So this Mew keeps getting a little bid pop up on it. Where is it? There it is. Every time I click on it,
it's going up.
It's slowly jumping up.
Was it under 1,000 before? Oh my goodness.
Here it is. It's flying. No, I think when we started, it was sitting around 1,100 or 1,150. So it is creeping. Like I said, I feel like this one might be one of the ones that strings out all the way to the end, just because it's got pop that pop one. People are going to be really intrigued, and they might keep I'll just pop another bid just to see where it goes. And if it's still within, a budget they're happy to pay, I think they'll hold out on that one. Whereas some other things, when they hit their sort of market value where we know where they've been selling at and sitting at, people aren't necessarily always just going to bid more on them just for the fun of it.
But guys, if you are enjoying the stream, be sure to hit that like button. Hopefully this is helping you guys. This is really enjoyable for us.
I love doing this. It's something very different to what we normally do.
Brand new series. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Let us know if you are in the comment section as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we can try and help out as much as possible.
Alfredito, welcome in. I couldn't be on a more perfect Pokemon. Just wanted to point something out here. We actually have the Japanese Expedition Zard in a PSA 10. That's currently at $900 compared to its English counterpart, which is sitting at $10,000 up the top here, as you can see. So English to Japan, because it's funny with like modern, for example, we talk about the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies. That in Japanese in a 10 is that little bit more than the English. It's like it. Obviously, depending on the card, the era, it really is up and down. Because I know, obviously, modern Japanese collectors tend to, love Japanese cards because the quality is always that little bit better, especially with the texture on a lot of the modern full arts and things like that. But that's just an interesting comparison there, that the English Charizard from Expedition is currently at 10,000.
So
and then
that is it. That is the half an hour up.
Oh,
for some of the cards. Oh, that was actually moved back to 5 minutes now.
Okay.
So everything's down to 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So this item's been sold. So that went at 11,100. The Umbreon ended up going for 4,200. So I think that was at 3,500 last time we looked. What else has sold?
The Rocket box went for 11,000, I think.
First edition Rocket went for... So this is all every price you see does not include the buyer's premium. Buyer's premium will be on top of this, so just bear that in mind when we're looking at the prices. Jacob, we are going to be going to the London Card Show. We are indeed. So the Screen Mimikyu went for 3,360 and the Pikachu went for 1,920. These have all been pushed into the next period. Okay, so the Masaki Gengar in a PSA 9 ended up selling for 1,440. I noticed admirals say the difference between the Gengar in a 9 and a 10 is insane. It is insane.
It is.
With some cards, it's just crazy. Oh, okay, so our Black Label stamp promo went for $1,440. And the PSA 10 went for $348. However, it includes buyer's premium once it changes to sold. Okay, so once it changes to sold, it includes it. One thing I would say with this PSA 10 here, I've only pulled up one of the copies. There are about 6 or 7 others this evening. So the others could be around the same price, be a little less or a little more. So I will close that one down now. This is still pumping up a little bit. So
this has now another 5 minutes for someone to bid, and I think someone has on the Mew, right? So it's going to go to the next window.
Yeah. So the Jumbo ended up selling for $252 in a PSA 6. Very cool card. The Chansey ended up going for a wild $38.40. Beautiful nice card. Yeah, this one is just every time I click on it, it's pumping up at the moment. Grand Party is still going. It's $390.
So we've got the Legendary Collection Charizard Reverse Holo as well. That's been extended to the next window. So I believe, is it a minute, the next window? So it's gone from 30 to 5 minutes. We'll find out.
Yeah, let me get up my... So that one's sold at 1440.
But we've had a few been extended to the next window. So we've got the Legendary Collection Charizard with the autograph. We've got the Mew, which is the pop one in the Black Label. What else have I seen here? We've got...
Let's do a little refresh and see where we are.
A PSA 10 base set pack, which is currently at $725. That's been extended to the next window.
Is that first edition? No, shadowless, just shadowless.
Yes, shadowless.
Yeah, so when I've refreshed, it's removed all the souls, which is why I wanted to do that, just so we could focus on what's in the next window. So we're 1 minute 56 until it closes. So just so you guys can see.
Wow, it's a Pokemon Stadium card.
And already these two here, like Dean just said, have already been pushed into the next window by bids. Quite a few of these are needing bids. This one that's a really cool card. But again,
Stadium.
The scan does not do it justice. It's like my Chansey. The camera just doesn't pick it up very nicely.
So this is where it's going to get a little bit hectic, because as we can see,
all gonna be
the time frame goes shorter and shorter. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. The Grand Party in the PSA 5 has been extended to the next window.
Okay, popular, that one.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, that we saw a lot of autos popping up. Here we are, some more autos right there. So yeah, only a few of these we're seeing have been pushed. Oh, the Japanese Crystal Lugia has in a Beckett 5.5, currently at $400. That is going into the next window. Here, so this is what I'm saying, where we've got two cards that are exactly the same, and exactly the same grade. This one is currently sitting at $400. This one is at $410 and is going into the next window.
Yeah.
So they might be owned by different people, might be owned by the same people. With the other stamp promo, I could see the sequential grades, which made me think that they were the same person. So yeah. Karen's Umbreon here in a PSA 8 Japanese VS, literally just been extended at $390.
Currently with 20 seconds remaining. The Expedition Charizard has not been extended yet.
Okay.
So currently it's going for $10,000 before buyer's premium, which is, I believe, around $12,000 with buyer's premium.
Right, we're sitting here right now.
8 seconds remaining.
8 seconds to go.
Which we predicted it would go around between 12 to 14,000.
12 to 14, I thought in my head was kind of...
So I think it takes a while. See, it's gone back to 4 minutes, but I think it takes a while to load.
Okay, so we have just had a load of items sold right here, as you can see in real time. So the Expedition Charizard has sold for $12,000. The first edition base set Charizard that has been signed and sketched by Arita, and the auto is graded 10, not the card itself, just the auto, has ended up going for $7,800. The Legendary Collection Zard, which we mentioned earlier, here in a Beckett 9, has gone for $2,880. We've got the Japanese Gold Star Celebi for $2,520. And then, so that has now sold $7,800.
So the extended window
Grand Party is still pushing through.
It's gone back to 5 minutes.
And the Mew is still pushing through. I think when it gets up to 8 p.m, it then goes into minute then increments. It goes to the minute. Yeah. So lots of these sold as I'm scrolling through right here. Lots of them didn't get into the next window. The Pikachu did. It's currently at $825. It is in a PSA 10.
But Amy said this in the chat. She's not really into graded cards, but we see some really unique cards. For instance, these Pokemon Stadium cards. I've never seen these before.
I mean, you've got the Blastoise here. You can hardly see it, but I promise there is a Blastoise on that card. And that's currently gone into the next window, currently sitting at $675. Another 10 as well. Amy has asked, do you have any bids out tonight? No, I did earlier, but I got outbid and I didn't want to go any more on the particular card I was interested in. So no other bids tonight. So this auto here, so Arita signed the reverse Crystal Celebi and from Skyridge. That's gone for $588 right there.
So with 3 minutes remaining, the Pop 1 Mew has not had a bid.
Okay. So
currently it's going for $1,500.
Okay,
before
interesting.
Buyer's premium.
Right, I'm going to do a little refresh so we fill the page back up. So we see where we are. Right, so these now are sitting at the top here. So we have this signed and sketched reverse Zard next to the Mew. The stadium cards are up here now.
Someone in the chat asked if you can pull up a Japanese Zard that was around 400. If it's still going.
Yeah, sure. I can have a little look. Let me close that down.
I'll have a look as well while we're...
Yeah, I'll get Dean to...
So currently there is
Japanese.
A full art Japanese Greens Exploration. That's currently got another bid on it, so that's going to be extended. We have a auto Japanese Latias. That looks really good, actually. I'm really intrigued with what these stadium cards go for, chat, because like I said, I've never seen these cards. I didn't even know these existed. And there's a Pikachu. Did the Blastoise... Oh, no, the Blastoise has been extended as well. So the Blastoise is currently at 675, and the
the only thing I would say is these are all
Pikachu
7 days remaining.
Is $825.
I'm going to the page.
PSA Pop 1 of 3 as well, which is crazy.
So let's filter this by highest bid first. I'm just having a look for this
Chris,
Japanese
is this
Zard.
for next week? He says there's a 10 Japanese Zard
That's what
in
I'm
the
having
400 range. Would love to be able to snag that. Can't wait for next week.
No, if it's next week, I don't think we're going to be able to. I mean, it should be coming up there though.
Have you changed the week on the sort? Or are you still on this week?
Well, it will bring up all of them because I've put it into all of them.
Oh,
so these, as you can see, these ones here, next 6 days. Yeah, so...
We'll have to wait next week, my friend, Chris.
But Chris, if you're here next week, let me know, and we'll... Huh? Oh, right, okay. Maybe it's sold, and maybe that's why it's not coming up on the screen. Right, I just need to check because we're seeing next week's stuff here, so...
We're not bidding on anything tonight, no. Vintage.
15th.
So there is 25 seconds. The Mew's been bid on.
Oh, again.
So that's moving.
No, I can't see. Chris, I'm having a look here. And if it was in this week's auction and it was still going, it would be here because we're currently $440 here, $420, $400, $390. Unless it's this one here. Is it this one that you're talking about? because this is a Japanese ZAR, but it's not a 10. I think you said your one was a 10. It might have sold. Which is why it's cleared off from the page.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that Lugia just sold right there. Grand Party ended up going for $468 in a PSA 5.
Wow.
I'm a little bit surprised. That sounds like that's a healthy price right there. Let's see if anything up here sold.
We've got the base set Venusaur pack the Shadowless PSA 10.
Yeah, how much did that end up going for? Oh, okay. You can't see.
That went for. We've got the Pokemon Stadium still waiting to get bid on. We haven't got an extended bid on the Mew again, but that came in late. So someone is definitely contemplating whether to go through with another bid here. So this auto reverse holo Charizard is getting instantly bid as soon as
someone
the
is after that. So where I was talking about the stamp promos earlier, here is the example. So this 10 here just sold for 336. These two both sold at 312. So there being multiple, one has ended up being
a little bit higher.
Yeah, and then the others have ended up. And again, here we got the exact same copy of this card. And they are 2 cert numbers away, which makes me think there might have been another one in the middle of it that might have sold that's dropped off. These are both sitting at 440.
May have been a 9.
Yeah, true. Could have been a 9. That's climbing, that one, isn't it?
Yep.
Stadium cards seem to be sitting where they are at the moment. We've got another auto right there. A Rita that has been pushed into the next window. Let's see what else sold down here. So the Karen's Umbreon in a PSA 8 ended up going for $468. We've actually got a Legendary Collection box topper that has been signed. Ended up going for $432.
A Black Label Japanese Gardevoir from the 25th anniversary went for $456.
Is it me, or is that just a really niche thing to get graded as a Black Label?
That seems high.
That's crazy. Chris was saying it was a Gym Challenge ZAR PSA 10. What a steal, $400 or so. Wow. David, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for joining, my friend. How you doing?
If you have jumped in, guys, this evening, hit that like button on your way in. I'd like to hear your feedback as to what you think of this new series. Myself and Dean are going to be here for the foreseeable future, doing this every single Sunday, 2 a.m. UK time, because I know a lot of the followers are from the UK, but if you're not, it is 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be starting an hour before extended bidding, so we can talk like we did today about all the things that are upcoming, and then this is the exciting part where it gets tense.
Hey, shout out to you, Harry Snorlax, and shout out to Woody. Also, PWCC have said at 8 p.m. PST, in 18 minutes, basically. So that will be, 4 a.m. for us?
Yeah.
The extending bidding window goes from 5 minutes to 1 minute.
That is like crunch time right there.
That is, you need to make a decision if you're going to be bidding or not. So
I'm just going to refresh the page again.
Because the news now been bid.
Oh, it's gone up to 1,600.
Someone is and ahhing on this one.
That's what I said. It's bidding, but it is going up quite slowly. I just think that whoever is bidding, whether it's one or multiple people, they're gauging.
Yeah.
We're talking Pop 1 here. We're talking Black Label. A little bit niche, beautiful card, but they're not going to want to go too crazy. They are obviously just sort of seeing where it's going to get to.
Should we make a prediction in the chat? What do you think the Mew's going to go for?
Okay, right now in the live chat, what do we think this Mirage's Mew is going to go for? It's Black Label. It is Pop 1 of 1. Obviously making it a little bit niche and very hard to price. It's currently sitting at 1,600 and it has been creeping up this entire time we've been watching.
So Chris says Mew should go for 2K Pop 1 of 1 in his opinion.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that could be...
I think it's going to go 1,800.
Oh, okay.
Before buyer's premium.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to go like... I want to say somewhere between like...
5K. Wow.
5K, oh my goodness.
5K.
I'd say 18 to 2. I think, but again, I could be way off. I just don't know. Ooh. PWCC is saying, is anyone eyeing items for next week? Are we seeking any big items for the personal collections? Guys, in the live chat, let us know. Is there anything you're looking to add to your personal collection, whether it's big or small? Like we showed you earlier, we have high-end items here, but there are also the lower-end items when we're talking cards, you know, $10, $20, $30. Is there anything you guys are looking to add into your collection? If so, make sure you are looking at the auction for next week, because you can see it. You can actually already go ahead and take a look at the next week's weekly auction.
Yeah.
And it will show you at the bottom, you'll see that it says the card has 7 days. So that's how you'll know it's for the next Sunday one.
If you want to have a sneak peek now, you can click on the pinned comment that Green Tea's put. And then if you go to... Hold on, let me click on it from the actual beginning, because I've actually just gone on the website. So if you go marketplaces at the top, click weekly, and then you can actually sort it for next week's weekly
I'll do it
auction.
in a second. I just want to sort of see. Maybe I'll do it now before it gets it.
If we hit the next round. All right, we've hit the next round, so
right,
we might as well.
Let's do it here.
So yeah, if you click that sort button up there.
So I'm going to go to the 22nd and apply. So we're going to have a quick sneak peek and see what's coming up next week. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So this is from the Creatures deck. I'm really, really excited to see where these cards go. We have got the Japanese Crystal Zard in a PSA 10. It's currently sitting at $8,000 and it has a week left. We have a first edition Charizard.
Wow.
Beckett 8.
We also have a first edition Jungle box, but it's not popping up for you.
The boxes are just like, they don't want to exist for me. Here is the Blissey that I was so excited about seeing ending today. That was way ahead of my time. So we'll be coming back to this one. We have an Umbreon VMAX sitting down here currently at $625 for a PSA 10. Isn't it crazy that a card from Evolving Skies in a 10 is worth that much money? Lots of Creatures deck cards. So excited to see where these go. So many good cards in here. Let's just have a quick scroll through. So like I said, have a little browse this week, guys, for the auction that's coming up next week. I'm going to, on my story again for Instagram, I did it today and I'll do it next week. I'm going to put up a question box. I want you guys to drop in the cards that you want us to talk about next week, and I'll add some of those to my list. We will, however, add our own cards that we want to talk about.
I'm looking at one right now.
There is a Beckett 10 special delivery Charizard coming up next week.
I'm looking at this PSA 10.
Oh, that's a beauty.
EX Holland Phantoms Mew EX. That looks beautiful.
More stamp promos.
Ooh, Japanese.
I saw that. Alternate Art Sylveon. There is some goodies coming up next week.
Yeah,
there is
really
some
nice.
good. Oh, Japanese Gengar VMAX.
Look, even there's an Evolving Skies booster box.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's really cool.
Okay, that'll be a cool one to keep an eye out for. But yeah, we got more black labels here. We got lots of alternate arts coming up next week. We've even got a Koro Mew. I know you want a Koro Mew.
Yeah, I do.
You want to add one to the collection. We got one here in a Beckett 9, currently sitting at $52. Here we have a Black Label Play promo. Oh my goodness, currently sitting at $58. Currently pop 1 of 2.
Lots of alt arts of evolutions from Evolving Skies. We
have lots.
Oh wow, yeah. Next week's going to be great as well.
And guys, if you've just joined in this evening, appreciate you all. Make sure you hit that like button. Right, before I get carried away on next week's auction, I am just going to quickly jump back and see where we are tonight, just so we can have a little look. Oh, okay.
1 minute remaining.
It is getting tense now. It's getting tense. This is the card that we're kind of focusing on right here.
Yeah.
Predictions in chat range from $1,800 to $5,000.
Yeah.
It's currently at $1,600. This is a pop 1 of 1 black label. Very niche. These I'm really intrigued about.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
It's just a shame
before.
they just don't come up as clearly, but I know it's like with the Chansey, the camera just doesn't catch it. We've got the auto here, hasn't had a bit, less than a minute, guys. Less than a minute right here. All of these have been pushed right here. That auto, this Charizard, this Jumbo right here. Can you see how that Jumbo is a little bit wonky in the case?
Yeah.
In the old iPad case.
Unknown. We've got, is that Shadowless Blastoise? No,
unlimited. Okay, let's have a scroll back up.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh my goodness, this is getting very, very tight now.
And in 11 minutes, guys, the extended window goes from 5 minutes to 1 minute. So it's going to be interesting to see how many cards make it to that window when it gets to that.
Okay.
That's when it becomes crunch time.
10 seconds.
Is anyone gonna? I think they might be done on this Mew. You know.
Do you think this is it?
I think this is it.
They've decided that.
I think this is it. Obviously, there's a bit of a delay, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay, so every single card that was sitting at the top right there, the legendary Zard that was signed and sketched ended up selling for $2,070. The Mew was $1,920.
Wow.
So it didn't quite get to that $2,000 mark, but still, I mean, I'd say that's a great price on that. Very niche, again, being pot one of one, very hard to price. There's obviously no previous sales data. So again, it's what the person is willing to pay that's looking for it at the time. Pikachu Stadium ended up going just over 1,000, and the Blastoise sat at 840.
So we've got the Latias that's been extended.
Yeah, these ones here are still sitting. Few more sold there. The Expedition reverse Charizard in a 9 ended up going for $252. Again, all of these ones have actually been pushed. I really like this card, this Azumarill from Team Rocket Returns in a PSA 9 reverse, $132. Few more sold there.
This Mewtwo card is crazy.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's insane. That's incredible.
A lot of Skyridge cards.
I like how they've actually photographed that sideways.
Yes, you can actually see the artwork sideways. Instead of photographing the slab upright, you're not tilting your head. Welcome in, everyone. Neon, how are we doing?
What's
Thank
up,
you
Neon?
for joining. So as you can see, the current pricing now, a lot of the high-end stuff has ended up selling. So we're now we're around the $50 mark on a lot of these cards right here. And like I said, you obviously can't jump in now if you aren't already in the eligible extended period for extended bidding. You do have to place your bids before extended bidding starts to be eligible to be in for extended bidding. You can't just jump in right now and think, yeah, I'm going to jump on this Pikachu. It doesn't quite work like that. But like I said, at the beginning of every stream, every Sunday that we do this, we'll talk about extended bidding. So anyone who's jumping in, you guys can understand. I really like that Pikachu.
Yeah, really
very,
cool.
very cool.
So it went from 2,000 items on auction.
Yeah.
We are down to 53. Or 53 now.
53. So we really are down to the last sort of...
Is any going to make it for 8 minutes to the 1 minute time window?
Do we think?
I have no idea.
It is getting very, very close. It is getting close. That jumbo is really going to bother me because it's slightly on a tilt right there. So yeah, that's quite a good point. The fact a few of the more expensive ones didn't actually trickle any further. They actually ended up all sort of, going at the same selling time. Within the last sort of 10 minutes or so. I think we've had the biggest ones like the Expedition Zard and the Auto, everything like that. So the most expensive one we currently have now is sitting at $675, and it is the Latias that's actually signed and sketched by Arita. We have got the Blueback Top Sun Charizard sitting at $430. That's in a PSA 7. We have got this pencil board here sitting at $280. That's a Beckett 8. Very cool. We got another jumbo there. Like I said, it's not all just... cards. We have had jumbos tonight, booster boxes, there has been graded packs as well, so there really is a bit of everything. And like I mentioned, it is not just all high value. There is something for everyone. We're talking cards from $7 all the way up to $10,000. So it'd be really interesting to see what the most expensive sale is next week. Maybe we should see what the most expensive and the cheapest sale is, so we can really get the two ends of the
spectrum. This
is a really nice card here. Beautiful swirl under Sabrina's Gengar. That's a Beckett 8.5, currently sitting at $105.
What's that Pikachu next to it?
It's another pencil board. So as you can see, it's the bigger size. That's a Beckett 7, currently sitting at $105. Really cool. That'd be something really nice to have displayed on the backdrop. Really nice Mewtwo. Right, is that the Mewtwo you were looking at, or was that a different one?
No, I was looking at an armored Mewtwo. It's down a bit, I think.
Is it on another page, maybe?
Might be. It's this one here. So that's like a top spot.
Oh, yeah. I think I might have scrolled past it. Okay, so 53 Oh, 12 seconds. Let's go back to the very top. Okay.
7 seconds. Top Sun's not been bid on. It's currently going for 400. Ooh, that third one just got a last second bid, I think.
Where are these going to go?
So
just wait for the delay.
There we go.
Okay, so the Top Sun Zard Blueback PSA 7 ended up selling for $516. That Jumbo ended up going for $336. Pop 1 of 1. Very cool, very unusual. Some of these Jumbos, you don't see them very often, especially not graded. These sold here.
There's that Mewtwo.
Okay, yeah. So that's actually gone to the next $145 it's currently sitting at. So if we do a refresh, we'll see where we're sitting.
So we currently have 32 items up left.
Oh my goodness. Mine says 31.
Yeah, I don't know why.
My PC is just trying to hide things from me tonight.
But
Chris
currently
is saying,
we have one with an extended bid.
Okay. Interesting. Chris is saying can't wait to be able to bid on next week's auctions. Chris, is there anything you got your eye on in particular? I'm sorry if I've missed it earlier, and if you did mention it. Is there anything you got your eye on in particular, or are you just sort of going to go in and try and take a look at a little bit of everything? I can't wait for next week. Now that we've got going
budget,
with it.
Chris?
Yeah, what is the budget, Chris? Where are we sitting? So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this evening. Like I said, it's the first time I've done this kind of content on the channel, teaming up with PWCC to bring this to you every single week on a Sunday. If for whatever reason myself and Dean are traveling, we won't run the episode while we're away, but we'll be straight back to it once we're back.
Yeah.
So the only time we won't be here on a Sunday is if we are traveling. We do have a couple of trips coming up. We're going to Orlando CollectorCon in February. We'll actually be away for a couple of weeks in America, so there will be about a 2-week period, maybe 3 week, where we won't be here, but then we'll be straight back to it
as soon as we're back.
Once we're back. So that is the only reason we won't be here on a Sunday doing this. But yeah, it's been really fun. So Admiral saying he didn't pick anything up tonight. He's buying a
Creatures Oak.
Next week, and a Mewtwo.
Which one? The one that we saw?
The Creatures deck
Mewtwo.
No.
The oh wait, I'm thinking of not the one that's on next week.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really cool. That's a really cool
very
card.
Very nice card. Neon said Sniper First Edition Charizard. No, a First Ed Zard auto went for, was it 7,800 or 7,200 earlier tonight? So that a very, very nice price. Yeah, Orlando CollectorCon Orlando. Myself and Dean will be there. Can't wait. It's going to be our first US card event. We've never been to a card show. We've been lots of card stores when we've been to the US. We've never been to an actual card show and big event like this. So massive shout out to CollectorCon for having us. We're looking forward to that. Yeah, best way to spend a Sunday. This is something to look forward to every week, and it gives you guys something to keep an eye on throughout the week. Have a little browse when you've got a little bit of spare time, see what's coming up in the auctions. There's always something fun going on.
I feel like these are always really educational as well. You just kind of get
They are. Well, especially when like you're looking at those pop ones and cards that you don't see very often, but also then cards that you do see often and seeing like a big change in the market, like actually they're really starting to dip off or they're really starting to take off. It just in general, this is something a little bit different to do, and it's a fun way to spend the sun. It's a different live stream as well. I really enjoy this kind of content. Normally we're opening up packs and we're full on and crazy. This is a bit more, we get to focus a bit and
just chill out and speak to you guys.
Right, so a few of these have been bid on. We've currently got, mine says 31, Dean says 32.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't see.
One's hiding for Chloe.
One is definitely hiding from me, but that's okay. So our current most expensive one at the moment is sitting at $700, and then the next most expensive is $290. So it really is starting to.
So in 45 seconds, it goes from 5 minutes to 1 minute windows.
It is getting quick, but as you can see, that has already been bid into the next. So someone wants that Latias. Someone wants that Latias. Nitro's going to be there.
That's the extra item. This Japanese Top Sun anime gum card. It's actually been extended to the next window.
Oh, interesting.
So is the Latias.
Okay.
Some really nice things.
Sorry if you just heard a noise in the background. Dean's dog is here. Sometimes he just coughs. He coughs, but he sounds like a dinosaur, bless him. He's just chilling. We're all having a late night to here. Nights here. We're all having a late night here. Oh, you can tell we're starting to slip.
And yeah, guys, if you want to bookmark the website, feel free to click on the pinned comment.
It's at the top. That's where you can find the auction for next week.
Because I do that all the time. I click on something and then I'm like, what was the website? It always helps out by clicking on it.
Right. So a few have been sold here. This pencil board went for $348. The Mewtwo ended up going for $174 in a 9. Plasma Gale. That's a PSA 2.
Oh, wow.
Ended up going for $162.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so quite a few bits sold here. This Sabrina's Gengar in a Beckett 8.5 went for $126.
And we're already 18 seconds left on the window, by the way.
Oh, my goodness. This is where it gets
goes to a minute and then it's literally crunch time.
18 results left on mine. How many on yours? This way you're going to tell me 19.
Oh,
I was going to say 32. We're way off there.
The Latias has got extended again.
Someone is ready. Oh, my goodness. And here we go again.
Yeah, I've got 19.
Okay, this is getting tight. This is getting really, really tight here now. We're about to have a few more showers sold, I think. Yeah. So this pencil board's gone for 156.
That's pretty
quite
cool.
a lot. Right, let's do a refresh.
Same.
It's almost like you can't keep... Okay, we've got 5 items left now, guys. 5 items left.
The Latias Auto's still going, so that's currently at $725.
So whoever is after this one, I wonder if they're at the point where they're now comfortable. They're like, not going to go anymore.
Yeah. Well, they've got 30 seconds to decide. Because literally, one card, and it is a reverse holo Arbok, has had a bid.
Oh, and the Caterpie's gone as well. So So just a little comparison. The most expensive card left now
is the Latias.
725. The cheapest card is this Poliwell Topps Pokemon TV Animation Series 2 stick-ons, PSA 10. So $52 all the way up to $725. But you can actually see the gap between this and this. Oh, okay. So the Latias just ended at $870. I think we only have two cards left now. So you can see we started at over 2,800 and we're down to 2. It really does end very quickly. And like I said, it's hard to keep an eye on every single card, which is why we're picking out some of our favorites. Do we think anyone is going to bid more on it? Caterpie Collector's going hard. The Caterpie Collectors are out and they're ready tonight. So it's Arbok versus Caterpie. $4 between the two of them. We've got $68 and $64. This is tense.
Very tense. 20 seconds
did we
left.
think?
Oh my goodness, Arbok. Arbok's been bidded.
Someone is ready for the Arbok. So out of all the cards we saw this evening, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think it would be down to these two as the last two.
At all.
I really did think that some of the more expensive ones might push through to just past the 8 p.m. mark, but it's 4 a.m. here in the UK.
I feel like this Arbok's going for quite cheap.
Okay, so Caterpie went for $76.80, and the Arbok is currently sitting at $72. This is a PSA 10.
Yeah.
It's the reverse PSA 10 from Expedition Gem Mint.
But it's also a rare, right? Is Arbok a rare? Let me double check. Yeah, it is. It's a rare.
Reverse rare. Reverse rare.
I feel like that's probably could go up to like $100, but then obviously we're not including buyer's premium.
Yes, that's something just to bear in mind as well when you're seeing this price. We'll see the buyer's premium on top once the auction actually ends. So the final, maybe we should do like a little thing every week where what the final card is.
We'll guess the final card.
Guess the final card of the auction.
Oh, a bid again, by the way.
Someone's after the Arbok. So the final card in our very first live stream auction is a reverse Arbok PSA 10 from Expedition.
I think Neil's bidding up
so
the
we
Arbok.
have someone who watches our channel who's a big fan of Arbok. So I don't think Neil's going to be awake at this time. But yeah, so maybe every week we should have a bit of a prediction. It's probably going to be a card we don't even see. Because I don't think we even saw this earlier when we were scrolling. But yeah, we should have a little guess every single week what we think the final card is going to be at this point of the auction every single week. yeah, we already had a little look at next week, so we're just gonna, I feel like I can't not see where this ends now. I feel like I have to see
it through.
We've gone this whole time, we have got to see where this RBOC ends. So a couple of things, guys. Number one, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Make sure you are following me on Instagram for all the updates with regards to all of the upcoming streams. It got a bid. Someone is ready. Someone is ready.
It's currently on $91.20 with buyer's premium. Oh wait, 78.
I'm gonna refresh it. I think it's because I haven't refreshed. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Me and Dean are going to be here every single Sunday, 2 a.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We basically start an hour before extended bidding starts, and then we go all the way through to this point. And we're currently 5 minutes past 8, which is 5 minutes past 4 here. We're down to one final card. So we're going to be here every single Sunday doing this, apart from when we're traveling, when we have some trips coming up. And I'm going to stay interactive on my story about this, guys. So during the week, I will put out some question boxes on my Instagram story for you guys to give a suggestion of what cards you want us to look at next week. Myself and Dean will make notes of cards we want to look at. Next week, there's some really nice cards, the creature deck cards coming up. Whoever is doing this, I feel like they're doing it just to keep us awake right now. The RBOC has had another bid. It's gone to $80. I want to know how much that Chiron's Umbreon went for.
I'm telling you, this is going to go to $100. I've called it already.
I think it was around $500-600. Oh yeah, I think it was around $500-600, Rach. Don't quote me, but I remember saying it out loud when we saw it. So yeah, I feel like tonight has been a very successful first stream.
Yeah.
Want to say a massive shout out to PWCC as well for teaming up with us on this one, and thank you for being in the live chat tonight. I think people have really enjoyed it, especially being able to ask some questions. You guys have been great in responding, and it's nice for you to be able to watch us talking about the live stream while it's happening as well. I want everyone's feedback as well. I want everyone's feedback on what they thought of this live stream tonight. If there's anything you want us to do in the future, if there's something we did that was good, don't change, let us know. We're open to feedback. We want to make this a really, really good series for you guys. Whoever's bidding on this RBOC is determined to keep us up until 6 a.m. I feel like it.
So it's currently at £96.
So $96 with buyer's premium.
Yeah. with buyer's premium.
So yeah, something a little bit different, but I'm going to be here every Sunday.
98, sorry. Now it's up. Now it's been another bid.
98, okay. So PWCC have just said the PSA 9 Chiron's Umbreon went for $600 and the 8 went for $468. Right, let's give this a little refresh.
20 seconds remaining.
It's been bid again.
It's been bid again. It's going to 100. So what's that? 84 now. Is that what it's on? 84. 84.
If you're bidding on this RBOC and you're watching in the live chat, let us know.
It's hit over 100. It's $100.80.
It's getting there. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to give this one more window and then we might have to call it. We have so much love for this community. It's been fun to follow you guys from afar, but it was about time we showed love and Tina. Honestly,
Appreciate
it's great. And doing this every week is something for us to look forward to.
It's a lot of fun.
Something a bit different. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the setup. I know, honestly.
We'll have the coffee out next time, the energy drinks.
So I don't drink coffee. I don't drink hot drinks.
Nor do I.
But we're going to need something.
Yeah.
We are going to need something. Oh, Pokemonsters. Are you bidding on the RBOC?
110 max. Oh my goodness. I felt like it would be around that sort of price. It's a reverse holo rare in a PSA 10.
Yeah. And we're talking Expedition as well. Like, it's a big set.
Yeah.
Next week is going to be a banger. Admiral, I hope to see you here next week. Hope you're going to join us every single week now that we're streaming on Australian friendly time.
Oh.
Is that it? And there it is.
We
it
go.
Sells for $103.
Pokemon Monsters, did you win? Did you win?
20 cents. I just want to keep you guys here. So thank you every single person who's watched this evening, been interactive in the chat. We've had a great time. We hope you have had a great time. We will be back next Sunday at the same time. Keep your eyes on the upcoming auctions. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Give it a click, have a look, have a little browse throughout the week. If you're going to be bidding, let us know. You're at work, so you watch while you're getting paid. You're living the dream.
Love it.
So we are going to head to bed.
Yep.
Because we're now on a completely different time zone.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get used to this. But guys, thank you so much for watching.
Start.
Oh, it's going to be an early one. And we will see you again next week. Good night, everyone.
Take care.